Hello and welcome to round 3 of the Dominion Online Championship against SAMP or SAMP. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to read that name. Throughout this match you will see some interesting ideas from my opponent. I quite like it. It was different. So let's jump right in here. So my thoughts looking at the board was obviously Chapel. But what do you do with the chapel? So my mind went to the natural thing, right? The hunting party. I was looking at getting hunting party and courtier for the plus buy. There's idol, which you just saw that has 3 types on it. So courtier is pleased with that. And then maybe we can see something with Graverobber or highway later on to finish off the game. But initially, you want to get your hunting party as soon as possible, the idol and the courtier set up, and then see what to do from there. So we both open with a chapel. The deliberation for me here is whether or not you open with a silver, as my opponent does, or a blessed village. So I eventually chose the blessed village. One reason is that it makes the chapel less likely to miss the shuffle. Also, I was kinda hoping that the boon from the blessed village would be beneficial to my game plan in some way. It wasn't clear to me which boon that I wanted. If I could handpick a boon, which one I would choose. But in the end, I decided to be very conservative here and just go for the Blessed Village to make sure, mostly to make sure that the chapel doesn't miss. So I do go for the Blessed Village, and you'll see the boon that I come up with here is actually the gold boon, which is pretty good for me to get. I am going to take that straight away, even at the risk of drawing the chapel here, because it helps me to buy my hunting parties very quickly. My opponent actually held back on chapel in there to pick up a second silver. So luckily I didn't draw the chapel, but I find it here with 3 estates, so this is tremendous draw, tremendous. Third silver for my opponent, whereas I have the nice gold, and I'm very happy about that. I was able to trash 3 estates as well. It means I'm very likely to get to 5 here for my hunting party. And I do. I do. Blessed Village comes out for my opponent. He gets a trash in, which is also nice for him. It's no gold, but still it is nice. Could have been worse. Could have been something like Sun or Moon, which doesn't do anything at all. So hunting party first, just to get the draw up and running, you want to find your chapel to finish cleaning and then try to get that idol bought as soon as possible. So here I considered a couple lines. You could just chapel 1 copper, because I was tracking my deck too. I knew there was hunting party in the back with a copper. Trash 1 copper here to buy a second hunting party, or trash all, buy a silver. Then you would have 5 coin in the deck, or at least 5 coin, which is enough to get your idol, hunting party, and courtier. So I eventually ended up choosing the second option, which I think is the better option, as opposed to keeping the coppers around in the deck. They just get in the way, right? So silver, 1 silver for me. I didn't have to buy that gold, which was very helpful, and a catacombs for my opponent. So he didn't go for the hunting party thing. Instead, he's going for the Blessed Village catacombs route. So it seems like he wants to set up his draw that way, or that is what I was thinking. Anyway, idol here, and then next is courtier. So my buys are fairly well organized and ordered in my mind at this point. So my opponent gets the catacombs to connect with the village, which is, not unexpected given the size of his deck. And is probably going to perform his last set of trashing here and picks up a Graverobber straight away. So this is something I hadn't thought about too much. I most think of Graverobber as an endgame card rather than picking it up this early in the piece. So I didn't think too much of it at this point. I was actually wondering what he was going to do with the Graverobber. I thought he was going to trash his catacombs to regain catacombs and then pick up 3 blessed villages of the catacombs trash, but you'll see he does something slightly different. I do not play the hunting party here. If I got Wind's Gift and lost money, I would be sad. So enough there for the courtier. So this is his first thing he does with the Graverobber. So he turns his chapel into another Graverobber. So he's going heavy on the Graverobbers. So that's the first thing I missed, right? Graverobber gets rid of chapel from your deck, which is nice. You could get your pick of the 5 costs. He chose another Graverobber. And he bought our Catacombs. So very soon you'll see what he's doing here, going heavy on the Graverobbers. For now, I still didn't pick up on it. Here, Courtier, I'm going to use it to gain a single gold. I think having the extra gold will go a long way in helping me to buy things. And 11 here is going to be another hunting party to draw everything up, and a second Courtier. Courtier there is a little bit aggressive, but I think it's fine actually. Now looking back on it, I think it's fine to pick up the Courtier here. Aggressive in the sense that you could stall, but um, it is theoretically possible. I have 3 treasures and 2 Courtiers. I could stall, but even then, that's a pretty good stall turn, right? Like, that's what I'm drawing into anyway. I consider the Graverobber here to get rid of the chapel, but I prefer to go after the second Courtier, get the extra buy in as soon as possible, and then go after the Graverobber. So here is where I realize what this person is doing. Catacombs I thought would have turned into a catacombs. Instead, it turns into a province. It turns into a province. And he picks up a third Graverobber, so he is rushing the province pile with these Graverobbers. That is his plan. So I see that now, I realize what he's doing, and I have to respond to this somehow, in some way. I don't have a lot of time left to build up a lot. I felt very comfortable with my position, given the start with the Blessed Village and the chapel, but now that I see what he's doing, this is wrong. I'm playing the idol last. I should play the idol first in case there's something that, wants me to discard or do something else, just to see what benefit I have before I play all my treasures. Just good practice. It didn't matter in this case, but it might in other cases. So here I do pick up my first Graverobber. I go for another hunting party to get the draw rolling, and I am gonna pick up a Catacombs now again, just for additional draw, also as a target for the Graverobber. That was my intention, mostly, primarily. The hunting party is gonna struggle to draw, the 2 goals in one hand, and the Catacombs might not. But we'll see how the shuffles work out. Anyway, Graverobber comes out again, trashes another Catacombs into another province, so he's 2 up on those. And I believe this is the turn where he does something slick here. No. Yes, I think this is the turn where he does something slick. Very nice maneuvers from him here. Out comes a second Graverobber. Top decks the Catacombs from the bin and then draws with it. Very nice. And the Graverobber, his third Graverobber, takes the last Catacombs out of the bin. Triumph for 5 points. So I missed all of that. I missed all of that potential for a rush strategy with the Graverobbers, and that they contribute towards Triumph. A 5 VP Triumph is not bad. It's like an extra province for $5. For like $0, right? You have to pay back the debt, but if it's on the last turn of the game, then it's for free once you have to buy. So not bad. Not bad at all. So again, I have to respond to this, right? So he's effectively 3 provinces up at this stage, and I should do something about this. So I do have double province potential in terms of coins here. With once I draw everything, which is not too difficult at this point, my Graverobber is going to come out. I am going to turn the chapel into a hunting party just for some stability. I don't want to stall. If I stall now, I'm done. I'm done. Right, so I have to take care of that first. Also, it's another target for my Graverobber. I'm trying to set up the Graverobber and the Catacombs to come together to trash that into a province. So I do take 2 provinces here. I have to. I can't delay anymore. My opponent has double province potential in his deck, so I need to be wary of that. And I pass it over to him. Doesn't have the greatest of turns here, but unfortunately for him, makes a mistake. He takes a province. He probably has to take the province, because if I take 3 provinces anyway, there's nothing he could do. Maybe there's something he could do about it. I'm not sure. But what he ends up doing here is turning our Catacombs into a province and picking up a duchy. But that's not enough, because I have triple province potential. I can use my Graverobber to trash one of my 5 costs to gain 1, and you've seen multiple times so far that I have $16 in my deck, provided I draw everything. And this is actually where the Catacombs comes into play here, because if not for the Catacombs, I would not have been able to draw everything. So I just make sure here of the win. I thought I had a second Graverobber, I don't. So just keeping everything in order. I play the Catacombs, turn the hunting party into province, and take game 1. So very close. In the end, my opponent put me under the pump very early in the piece here with that Graverobber Rush style deck there, just trying to empty out the provinces as quickly as possible. But we were able to come through here with our strategy with the hunting parties and the courtiers and the idols, with some help from Graverobber at the end, of course. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Comments and feedback are welcome as usual.